headbang.
So I've got with me at the other end of my Skype line one of my favorite artists, JJ from Harakiri from the Sky. Welcome in Metal Radio.
Hi, guys.
The reason we're talking today is your fifth album, Mære. Am I pronouncing it right?
I say Mære, but I'm not all, but I'm not sure if I spell it right, because I'm also not North English or Scottish, where the word comes from. So yeah, I say Mære, but every spelling is okay to me.
Okay. So what exactly does it mean?
Yeah, Mære is something like I don't know if the word in English also exists, but I think Nachtgespenst, which is something like a ghoul that sits on your chest and keeps you from breathing and keeps you from sleeping at night. And yeah, and so are the stories I tell in my lyrics, because more than 90% happened or happened as it is told. And yeah, and so this is a metaphor for me, because my lyrics also keep me from sleeping most of the time.
I see.
Or the stories, not the lyrics itself.
The reviews on the new album on Mære are incredible. I myself think that it's one of, if not the best album of the year, because it's too early to say.
Yeah, definitely.
It's probably in the first top three. What feedback have you been getting so far?
Yeah, it seems that the people kind of like it. We were a little bit afraid at the beginning that most of the people wouldn't understand it, because it's so long, and also the songs are pretty depressing, or how shall I say? But it seems that the amount of people liking sad music is growing from day to day. So yeah, also the resonances for Mære were quite good, more than good to say.
What you just said, I read somewhere that you talk about this album as being very personal, and you expose too much of yourself through your lyrics. Uh, isn't it hard exposing yourself that much?
Um, I also sometimes think about this, and I also got dissed by a few of my friends saying, "Oh man, that's too personal. It's like a soul striptease and all that." But to me, it's kind of a catharsis, and I need it um, to handle all this stuff. And yeah, I mean, it definitely is kind of personal, and maybe more personal than most poets or lyricists write. But for example, I mean, when you take an album like Viva Emptiness of Catatonia or something, I think this one was also pretty personal. The reasons this album is so strong is that it is so personal. And yeah, and I think it makes stories and lyrics also kind of unique, because no other band has the same lyrics or writes about similar topics, because nobody went through the same story as me. So I think on the one hand, for sure, it makes you kind of fragile, and people can hurt you because it is so personal. But on the other hand, it's also very authentic and artistic, and I like it way more that way than just writing metaphors that say all and nothing at the same time, because it is also in between.
I see. Um, what about the duet you have with Nigel of Alkist?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that me and Matthias are really heavy Alcest and Amazors fanboys, and always were. Um, yeah, and it's not that hard to know each other when you play so much summer festivals as we and then Alcest do. So one day you will meet up in the backstage and shake hands, or you meet in the breakfast room of the hotel and all that stuff. And so yeah, and so Matthias and him became friends. And they're often talking on Facebook, sending each other bands they like, and talking about music, music not that is not very usual and not many people like. And so yeah, one night we were sitting together discussing about features we could have on the album,
Mhm.
and then we were talking about niche, and we were so no, that's I think he won't do it. Kiri is way too less popular, or way too less good. We are not sure he likes it. But yeah, when we had a few beers, we were brave enough to write him a message, and yeah, and he said he likes the band, and he's totally in. And so yeah, and so we had the feature on the album, and I think it was like we chose the song, but he chose the lines. Um, it were my lines, what I wrote, but he chose the ones he liked most, and um, I
Stepped
was
in.
added some clean singing, and so we also had his special trademark in the song, which we really like.
The fact that when someone talks about post black metal,
Yeah,
they use you as a definitive band. You know, when someone wants to describe what post black metal
yeah,
is, they will probably say, you know how Harakiri for the Sky sound like? That's post black metal. Do you
cool.
feel that you're a pillar in post black metal? Do you feel you define the sound?
I'm not sure, and I think it would be arrogant to say it is like this. Um, but if people are calling us that way, it's a huge compliment to me, because post black metal is since more than 10 years now something that is really important to me, um, for listening and for making music myself. And yeah, it's a huge compliment, because to me, there's the real post black metal bands are like Alcest or Amazors or Les Discrets, everything that came from France in this time. Also Landloss for sure, which is one of my favorite bands at all.
Mhm.
I've never listened to an album so often like Neon of Landloss, I think. Which is like on a 5 times a week basis or something since 10 years. And yeah, so it is a huge compliment. Our name falls in the same sentence as this band's for sure.
Tell me a bit about the cover you chose, Song to Say Goodbye by Placebo.
Oh yeah. Um, yeah, it's Matthias is a huge Placebo fan,
Mhm.
and we always had this band policy since the very beginning of the band, that when we do a cover version for a bonus track, or for a limited edition or whatever, um, it has to be from a different genre and not from black metal, which means we will never cover Transylvanian Hunger or something like this, as
Now,
most of the. Oh,
here's
sorry.
in the past. You've covered Tears for Fears in the past, Mad World, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
which is also not a black metal song. And so we had this have this band policy that we cover a song from a different genre. And yeah, I'm not such a huge Placebo fan as Matthias is, but I also really like them. And to me, song to say goodbye played a very important role in the year in the summer before I finished high school, because this is when the first time I moved out of my parents' home with nearly 18 years, I think. And generally, I started a completely new chapter of my life. And so this song really stuck in my head and was important to me. And when Matthias came up with the idea to cover a Placebo song, I was totally into a song to say goodbye, because this is the song that has the most meaning to me. And I mean, song to say goodbye, the title itself, it could also be Harakiri for the Sky track. So I think that totally works out for us. Let's say it that way.
Mm-hmm. Uh, Releasing a new album in the COVID era must be a bummer, right? You
Yeah,
can't
totally.
you can't have live shows. How has it been for you?
Boah. The thing is, the album should already have been out in September. Um, so this was the first very annoying thing, because you sit on these songs since such a long time, you work so long on them, so you really want the people to hear them, and then comes month after month after month and nothing happens, and you get pretty nervous, and you always fear that it will get delayed again and all that. Then you have all these troubles with the pressing plants and all that, because no one works in time these days. Everything is delayed, not just the release of the album, but also the production of the album and all. Yeah, and so we were really exhausted when the album finally was released. Um, we naive as we were at the beginning, we thought delaying it to January uh, may cause that we can already play a tour again. Yeah, that was very stupid of us to believe back then, but it was May or June, so nobody could really say what's happening in 6 months of something. And no, we can't tour, but we are at least we are happy that the album is finally released, because it was a bummer to always yeah, keep it away from the fans and from the people who have liked it. And now it's a time many people have enough time to listen to it and are not in a hurry all day long. And so I think it's a pretty cool thing that it's finally out, even if it's 4 months too late.
I would say that it's quite important because being locked in is quite music has been a compensation, sort of say. It's been something that we turn to in order to feel better, because all this
Yeah.
confinement, it's taken its toll to everybody's psychology and mood. So having great music like Mære is a bliss.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I think music nowadays is more important than ever, because I think that the people really need it for their psychohygiene and for their mental balance, or how shall I call it?
now I remember. I wanted to ask you if you stay creative always. I mean, you've just released an album. Do you
Yeah.
constantly write music or do you take pauses?
Um, I may take I may take pauses for writing guitars for Kag or some of my other bands. But I'm never pausing writing lyrics because I write nearly all day long. I for sure write down one or two ideas an hour or something.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's what cell phones are for. um, and yeah, in the end, not every idea is as good as is as good to put it in a song or whatever. Um, but nowadays, I try to write a novel, a book, and this is also a reason why I'm stuck here in this cabin in the woods and all that. So I so I so I can be alone, and yeah, just if I'm in the mood. I also got my guitar stuff here and everything. If I'm in the mood to write some guitar stuff, I write some guitar stuff. If I'm in the mood to write on my novel, today it was like 4 or 5 pages or something like this. um, and yeah, I hope that I'm due till the mid of April or something with the novel. And yeah, not sure what I will be doing afterwards. Um, I think yeah, and I need to search a new flat in till the end of April and all that. But yeah, but these days I just try to be creative and write as much down and play as much guitar as I can, um, to to not get completely crazy because the last year was a little, not because of the COVID, but because of 10 other things, was a little bit too much for me. So this is why I isolated myself in the mountains to write a book.
Uh, can you tell us what the book is about? Do you want to share it?
Um, I'm not sure. I'm not, I have a flexible concept already. I think there is much in the book which uh, which happened as I write it down. Um, but there are for sure also parts um, which are fantasized, because some things could also have turned out another way, because as you know from movies like Butterfly Effect or something,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes very small things have such a huge impact on somebody's life or the way they choose or are choosing. And so I think it would be like maybe 60-70% um, truth, and the rest will will be will be will be different endings of stories that may have happened in a similar but not in the same way. And yeah, that's the only thing that I can say. But it will also be pretty personal, even if it's not even if not, how should I say, it's not from the I perspective. I'm not writing I did this or did this. It's from the third person. So I'm not directly the protagonist or something.
Mm-hmm. I see. Okay, we won't think that it's about you. Tell me, um, I've watched you live last time you were here in Greece, and your performance is amazing.
Thank
You, what you do with your music is what is probably the 50% of what you give once you're on stage, because I feel that you completely strip down and give us all your energy.
you. Yeah, I
It's
think this
that
is my. Yeah,
it, it feels like you can absorb the music and it's crushing you the way you perform.
yeah. I think that's my thing. I get completely emotional sometimes. I mean, it depends on the day. On the day, not every show is a good show, but most of the time, yeah, I get really emotional, and also because the lyrics and the music remind me on different situations in my life, which sometimes make me angry, sometimes make me sad, sometimes make me proud that I came out of this shit alive. Um, depends on the mood, but mostly it's kind of crushing to me. um, and yeah, and then if you play live, so many people watch you, there is so much adrenaline and all this, so you get kind of pumped and pushed. um, yeah, and everything else comes out just naturally, I'd say.
Mhm.
But thank you for the kind words.
Well, it's only the truth. It's just what I witnessed when I saw you, and hopefully we can see you soon enough
Yeah,
again.
that'd be awesome for sure.
Okay, so closing this chat of ours, tell me which song is your favorite of Mary and why.
um, it's funny because I think it changed like 5 times since we finished the album.
Yeah.
Um, Nowadays it's three empty words because of the song itself, and also because the lyrics mean so much to me. Um, my first favorite song was "I Pallbearer."
Hmm?
Then it was "Us Against December Skies," but the song is too heavy right now for me to yeah, also because of the lyrics and the broken relationships stuff. So yeah, nowadays it's three empty words, and I also kind of like Silver Needle, Golden Dawn nowadays um, because of the voice of Gaiera's feature and all that, and also because of the main theme, which is like a couple suicides.
Okay. Not, not exactly the optimistic sort of way I wanted us to end things, but do you want to send a message to the fans who listen to Mære, or just let's say that you can talk to uh, our listeners before they have the chance to listen to the new album? What would be the one thing that you would tell them?
Yeah, I mean, this last words are always a little bit difficult, but I'd say, yeah, listen to Mary when you really got time. Maybe on a train or something, while you can look out on the window and watch the landscape flying by or something like this, or maybe with maybe a little bit drunk alone at home or something. I think that would be the best way. Because it doesn't mean that that I would do the same with Mary, but if I buy myself an LP, which I was really waiting for, or something, maybe from one of my favorite bands or something, then I most of the time take it really serious. So I sit down, take the LP, read the lyrics while I listen to the songs and all that, and I think such serious or depressing albums, which where lyrics and the music need each other, and it's not some happy listening stuff. Um, I think that's the best way, and yeah, maybe with a few beers or something, I think that works out best. And also you're getting more emotional and all that with a little bit of alcohol and all that. So or like I said, in the train while looking out of the window. This is also a way I listen to music very often.
Okay, I think you're right about how this album would sound ideal, but it's brilliant anyways. Thank you very much for your time.